Hello and welcome to this episode of the Big H Podcast. This one is titled Happy Birthday, Mrs. Producer. And by now, you probably know that Mrs. Producer is Carla Hayes, who turns 50 years old today. She prefers always to work behind the scenes. She didn't want to party. She doesn't like to be the center of attention. But I felt what better way of not being the center of attention than to splash it all over the internet. She's the most humble, happy, and strongest person I've ever met. I used to think it was my mom, but she didn't have the happiness that Carla displays. She was strong and humble. But having Carla in my life and in our life, I've realized that she is just the best thing that's ever happened to me and my family, and I think her friends and those that ever interact with her. As a teacher, if you ever go into her classroom, she fosters an environment for learning for individuals. She meets kids where they are, doesn't try to change their personalities, works with parents in great communication, and every interaction she has with the parents, I think the parents come away with a feeling like my kids are treated at school as if they're one of her own. As a daughter, she loves her parents. She comes from a great set of mom and dad who have raised her with strong morals and values and principles, and she has carried those on into our family. And I knew early on that I could tell that this is the type of woman that would do the same thing in a family of ours. She cherishes the moments with her siblings that, as you get older, you don't see as much, her brother and her sisters. And when she does get a chance, they have a good time. And now that there are other people bringing into the fold of nieces and nephews, she enjoys them just as much. And as a mother, this is where I see it most rather than most of you. She's loving, dedicated, and committed. She's the emotional support of the family. She's the solid rock of the family. I don't know, I grew up traditionally, and when we brought kids into the world with Michael and Mallory, she was the one that got up at night. She's the one that put them to bed at night. And she did it willingly, and she formed such a bond so early on that now the kids are just ingrained with her, and she's always involved in their lives, making phone calls with them to school, and made a lot of trips with Mallory. So, I mean, as a mother, I couldn't be blessed with more than what I've received in her. As a friend, she remembers birthdays, I think, more than anybody. She can make sure she gets a card out. Um, she doesn't need a Facebook reminder for it. Her door is always open. I think she's a great sounding board. She's great listener. She's not judgy at the time. No, I'm just kidding. But when you walk away from a conversation with Carla, you understand you've been listened to. You're not just someone who's listening and waiting to get on to something else, or waiting for her to interject what she wants. And as a wife, as I said earlier, she's the rock of the family. She makes good days better, bad days not seem so bad, and she saved me more times than I can count. And I kind of want to leave you with this message, and it's I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it, but it's a godwink. And I had to look up the definition, and I'll just read it to you. A godwink is a slang term used to describe an event or experience that appears to be a coincidence, but is believed to come from divine intervention. Well, I think the best way is to give an example, okay? And here's my example. my godwink. 30 years old. Here's me switching careers to start teaching at Hilton. And this is even, I think before I got my job. And I was working in a summer camp right there at Village. And I'm sitting in the cafeteria. I don't know what I'm doing in the fall. I'm just going to go do something, keep taking summer classes. And I see this girl come walking in, and I'm thinking, man, she's a looker. And I saw her walking in, and through this, that, and the other, I found out it was Carla Abrams. And I'm like, I think I had that. Her mom is a guidance counselor. So, yes, I was still living with my mother. And I went home and I was talking to my mom, and I said, yeah, this woman, Carla Abrams, that walking into school, I don't know, I think she was teaching reading. And my mom's like, oh, yeah, I used to work with her mother, Shirley, at the high school. And she goes, Carla's really cool. And I'm thinking, okay, mama's knows best, right? So then I ended up getting hired. That God wink was like my mother saying, oh, yeah, Carla's cool. It's like that divine intervention from God. Here's a sign. Like, pay attention. It's right there in your face. And so over the first 2 years of our career, you're embedded with a lot of those new hires, and we were hired at the same time. We got to know each other, hang out with each other, and kind of get to know each other and sliding into dating, and the rest is history. And that's my Godwink story, and I hope some of you out there think of a Godwink story that maybe you've had that run across in your lives. I believe in divine intervention. And Carla's mine. And I'll leave you with this. And I don't know where I heard it, but your birthday is the day when God decided the world could no longer live without you. Well, August 25th, 1976 was that day for Carla Jamie Abrams. Carla, happy birthday. I love you. We love you. And here's to many more. Mrs. Producer.